Our side tonight with some signs of progress. A lot of people weighed down by high borrowing costs, but we may feel some relief soon. U.S. consumer prices actually fell 0.1% in June. That is the first drop since the start of the pandemic. And inflation overall eased to 3% annually. Financial analyst Greg McBride with Bankrate.com says cooling inflation is good news when it comes to interest rates.
Things are lining up that the Federal Reserve will begin to cut interest rates in September.
Those interest rates have been stuck at a 23-year high for months, but a rate cut will make borrowing costs a little bit less expensive. And the gap between wage growth and inflation also starting to close.
Over time, we want to see wages growing faster than inflation because that's how, as Americans, we can increase our standard of living.
And when it comes to that standard of living, Americans are still shopping despite the high prices. Retail sales held steady in June, defying the decline predicted by economists. And online sales, well, those jumped nearly 2% last month. There's also some progress to report on housing. The shelter index rose just 0.2% in June. That's the slowest monthly increase in 3 years. But on an annual basis, shelter inflation still running at 5.2%. That is far above overall inflation.
When costs go up, households really feel it. And you certainly see that in the housing market today. Not only are rent prices high, home prices are high, financing costs are high, homeowners insurance costs are high.
You know, a lot of you are feeling all those impacts.